Shalawam, and welcome back to The Hidden Chosen. I am Hadassah Basaiwan, returning with an exhortation. This time, call, take heed that no man deceive you. This is taken from Matthew chapter 24, verse 4, and this will seem familiar because the last study that I have done is called Are You Ready to Go? And we looked at Matthew chapter 24, a lot of verses in there that pertain to us, right? And the very first thing that Hamashiach warned his disciples, and he's warning us today, is these very same words. Take heed that no man deceive you. Now, I'm going to come back to this before I get into it. I just want to get some feedback about whether or not you achieved your goal in the fast that we decided to do together. And what was your what was your feedback? What came out of it? Like, what did you gain from doing this fast? Now, the whole purpose of me establishing this fast with everyone, whoever wants to join in, is as a way to make us feel like, okay, we are connected to another person or persons who are also interested in fasting and praying at this particular time because our regathering is so close. And at the same time, it's also a way of getting ourselves ready, all right, getting ourselves prepared emotionally, spiritually, physically, okay? So I would really welcome any feedback that you may have, any experiences. Doesn't have to be, you know, whatever experience you have that you're willing to share. I mean, I'll share a little bit of mine, but the greater part of mine, I think I want to put it into a study because that's one thing that the Most High, he has led me to understand certain things, especially about our regathering, and to confirm the actual the date, but not the year. I'm not sure about the year. Could be this year, could be next year, but I'm sure about the date. All right. And I'll get to that as soon as I can. So for me, anytime you determine to do something for the Most High, to, to grow in Him and Him in you, to desire to be closer to Him, to know more, to know Him more, the enemy will come in and he will bring all manner of confusion to stop you in your tracks. And I'll give you a perfect example. Okay, I did my fast. I started in the evening of the 24th to the evening of the 25th. Well, on that particular evening of I believe, yes, it was the 24th. I just want to make sure. Actually, it was the 25th to the 26th, you see. the the fast was the evening of the 25th to the evening of the 26th. And I started to feel unwell. I've done fast before and nothing like this has ever happened. But I believe this is because I'm encouraging others to do the fast. So of course the devils aren't happy. And my first temptation was to, okay, you're gonna have to take this. It's not medication. It's actually what you call it, blackstrap molasses. It's really good for like upset stomach and whatnot. And I was like in a battle, like, okay, this is excruciating pain, and I know that the molasses would help, but it would mean me breaking my fast. And I said, okay, Father, I know you're the healer and you can heal me. You tell me what to do. He said, get some ginger. right? I had fresh ginger in my refrigerator, put on some hot water, and as soon as I put the ginger in the water, I didn't even take a sip of it. It's like it, whatever it was, departed. I still drank it, but I had no more issues after that. So it's almost like the enemy wanted me to break my fast, and this was the manner in which he chose. And I said, Father, this ball is in your court. And so I left it all up to him. I said, okay, I'm willing to suffer till the following evening if it comes to that. But I kind of knew that it was not going to work out that day. And honestly, because before I drank the ginger tea with no sweetener whatsoever, just ginger and water, I did my prayer, my time of praying. And, of course, one of the things that I suggest to do is to lay hands upon yourself, anoint yourself, and pray for healing in your body. And that's what I did. And then I went to, you know, get my ginger water. And before I even drank it, I was healed. I'm not joking. I was healed. And that issue did not come back at all for the entire time that I was fasting. Now, another thing that the enemy loves to do is to bring all manner of food to your mind to get you to focus on food, because when you focus on food, you start to feel hungry. But when you're focusing on the Most High, hunger is not there. All right. And this is the trick of the enemy. Things that you don't even like will suddenly appeal to you. Things that aren't even appealing will suddenly appeal to you. Like, for example, oranges. Oh, suddenly you'll be craving oranges. Why now? Because you're fasting. And the enemy wants you to break your fast. All right? I am quite familiar with spiritual battles. I have been in, like, from the time even before I became a believer, I was always in spiritual battles. All kinds of spiritual battles. Almost like the enemy knew something about me that I didn't even know about myself. Right? So he tried to take me out. But thankfully, the Most High always had someone there to protect me. He always had his angels there to protect me. He protects me too, of course, right? But only when I came into the knowledge of who he is, then the battle has turned the other way. Now I can fight, right? Before he had his angels shielding me because I didn't have the knowledge of who he is. I wasn't even a believer. But when I became a believer, then things turned around, and I know he was able to empower me to do spiritual battle against these devils, right? So when I talk to you about spiritual warfare, I know what I'm talking about because I that's my life, right? That's how I have to deal with spiritual warfare all the day long. Some days better than others, some days not so good at all. Some days I feel like, okay, I just don't want to do this anymore. And he comes in, the Most High comes in to comfort me because he understands that I'm a person. We are made of flesh, and we have good days, and then we have days that aren't so great, and you feel like, okay, you feel the world on your shoulders and you just can't go on anymore. But one thing I will have to say, that when I do these fasts, I see a great improvement in me, right? When I keep Shabbat and I keep away from whatever is happening in the world and focus on Him, I see a change in me. I feel refreshed and I feel revived. Okay? And this is the reason why I am encouraging, especially now that our regathering is so near. I'm encouraging the people of Al Hayam to get into the habit of fasting and praying and keeping Shabbat. He said, as long as the bridegroom is not with you, we have to get into the habit of praying and fasting. All right? That being said, he did reveal a few things to me that I will, well, he took me into the book of Joshua, and he kind of showed me everything that took place after Joshua took over leadership from Masha. Okay? And the what he revealed to me. Okay, I'm not going to do the Jordan, the crossing of the Jordan. I want to do that as a study because that's so very important. Okay? I'm going to skip ahead and go to Jericho, the wall of Jericho. And the Most High told Yashraal, he gave them specific instructions. He said, when you go in to conquer Jericho, do not take anything for yourself, not even their cattle. Kill it all, burn it all, except the silver, the gold, and I believe it was the brass. Everything else must be burnt, destroyed, with the exception of Rahab and her family, because she protected the two spies. And she declared Alahayam Yahweh. She declared him that he is Alahayam Yahweh, because they were hearing about what Alahayam Yahweh did against Matzorayam. So the warning was given to everyone in the 12 tribes of Yashraal not to take of anything, otherwise it becomes a curse to you. And not only you, but your family as well. Everything that you own becomes a curse. And what happened? One man decided he was going to take a Babylonian garment, silver and gold, for himself, and hid it in his tent in the earth, he said. But Joshua, of course, being the leader, he is not omnipresent. He can't be everywhere all at once. So they had that victory against Jericho. It was tremendous. So now they had another war, another battle against Ai. And so the people say, hey, you know what? They're not that many. Just send a few of us. And you know what happened? Yashraal got beaten back, and about 30 plus men got killed. And when Yahweh, who is Joshua, heard about it, he and the elders fell down on their faces crying, ripped their garments, throw dirt on their heads, everything, because they were sure that they were going to be victorious this second time around. I mean, Jericho was the biggest battle that they had had to face compared to Ai. And you know what the Most High said? He said, get up. What are you crying to me for? Obviously, there's a curse in the camp. Someone has taken something that they were not supposed to take, and they have hidden it in their own tent. He said, bring the tribes before me, and I will tell you which tribe. After the tribes, bring the families, and from the families, then you come. Then he kind of whittled it down to finally landed on Achan, who was from the tribe of Yahweh, Judah of all people. And he said, yes, I took it because it looked so good I could not destroy it. And he kept some silver and gold. He said, I buried it in the middle of my tent. And you know what the Most High said? As long as he remains amongst you, you will never win another battle. So you need to destroy him and everything associated with him, including his wife, his children, his cattle, his tent, everything, his belongings, everything must be destroyed by fire. But first, they took him into the valley, stoned him and his family to remove the curse because he brought the curse. All right? And when that happened, when they destroyed the one man and his family, then the wrath of Allahayam was lifted, was rolled back from Yashraal. Now he told them, go now and deal with Ai. I'm with you. And they dealt with them a serious blow. The point of this lesson is that the Most High, and this is what he taught me during my time of fasting, is do not be tempted to take the accursed thing and think that you can hide it and I don't see it. Okay? There are many things out there that are an abomination to Allahayam Yahweh. He said, you might be persuaded by other family members, friends, even your workers, your manager, your boss, whomever. You gotta do this thing, you gotta take this thing, but this thing is an abomination to me, and you will become an abomination. All right? I mean, we can look at many different things from a physical point of view. Taking something that is not acceptable before the Most High. Something spiritual. Okay? You can look at it from all types of vantage points. It doesn't have to be silver and gold. But if you want to go there, a lot of people will do whatever to get that silver and get that gold and that goodly apparel, because it takes money to buy that goodly apparel. And he said, don't do it. Be poor now. There's nothing wrong with being poor. There's nothing wrong with you doing without. But it's everything will go wrong when you try to claim things, doing the wrong things and becoming an abomination unto him. And then you try to excuse yourself by saying, well, he does not want me to do without. He wants me to achieve. He wants me to climb that corporate ladder. He doesn't mind. Of course he does mind. Because in doing certain things in this world, you're going to have to let go of him. Because he will be the first one to say to you, don't do it. And then you got another voice next to you saying, you got to do it. Otherwise, how are you going to make it in this world? How are you going to make a name for yourself? Well, when you take yourself out of the equation, then that does not become a desire anymore. When you put him first, when you put Allah Hayam Yahweh first, then all the things that you desire will melt away, will disappear. And especially when he began to show you the root of all these things that we have been trained up to crave behind, and realize that the source of these things comes from wickedness. Look at who they used to promote them. You got some of our brothers walking around with every tooth in their mouth with gold. They look hideous. Gold chain, earrings, all kind of stuff. They look hideous. But they're trying to mimic their mentors who are the entertainers in this world. And they think by mimicking them, it would mean that they too are successful in this world. And in trying to be successful in this world, all they're doing is paving their way to the lake of fire. Okay? So this impacted me deeply. This lesson about Achan and not hiding the accursed thing. You think you can hide your abomination? The Most High already know what you're going to do before you even think it. He knows how the plan that has been laid out before you because he did it. He knows exactly what choices you're going to make before you make it, before you make them. He knows who's going to listen to him and who's not. All right? He already knows. Okay. So that's one of quite a few things he has. Here, look at my notes because I made notes. Yes, there's one of the few things I may come back and do another exhortation, but I just wanted to move on to something else because this became very apparent to me today. And I'm like, okay, I need to talk about this because I know how human nature is. And I know people would like to see things to go back to normal as they possibly can be, right? So I was listening to uh it's almost like someone they get all the different news articles and they put them together. I like to hear the titles of what's happening in the world instead of me having to go and do it myself. Just all in one spot, right? And one of the things that I've been hearing in the last little while that since the new president of the US has gotten into power, that he is, you know, rolling out some executive orders and overturning a lot of things that the previous administration had created. And I know, oops, sorry about that. My hand just hit the mic. And I know a lot of people are hanging their hats on this man, thinking that he's going to come and make America great. And at first glance, you may think that that's exactly what he's doing. He's not been in his office a week, and already he has rolled out executive orders overturning a lot of things that the previous administration had done. Okay. Do not let yourself be deceived. Number one, no man can be elected to be a president or prime minister unless he has been selected by the powers that be that run this world. So if you think that the current president is a one-man show, that he is the one that is doing all these marvelous things, think again. Think again. You're deceived. All right? These people, these demonic forces, they know how to handle us people because they have been studying us for generations. They know how to manipulate us. They know how to play with our emotions. All right? The current administration is no different than the previous ones before that. They're all the same kettle of fish, rotten, stinking fish. That's who they are. And they're not there for your benefit. They're there to benefit the plans of the fallen angels, to bring about their agendas. You see that fake attack on him, talking about the current president of the United States of America. It was all staged. Someone pulled out that little pow pow. It was all staged for your benefit. They have to put on a show. They have to make people think that many people hate this man. And maybe some do. But it doesn't matter because he is put there for a particular purpose. And that's why you see the Christians going, they're going crazy, thinking that this man has been put there by God. Yes, he was put there by their God, their gods. But he was not put there by Allah Hayam. Allah Hayam has allowed him to take his position because like he allows the devils to do certain things, he allows the earthly agents to do their things too. Let me show you something. The reason why the previous administration was put in place was to create as much chaos and confusion by establishing a lot of stupid laws, allowing same genders to compete with one another, to share the same bathrooms, all kinds of crazy things they have permitted. That's just a tiny bit of what they've done. All right? And the reason why that previous administration did these things so that the current and new administration will seem like a good guy. You see, bad cop, good cop. It is a psychological play, people. So now it makes him look like he is doing fabulous things on behalf of people not only in America but in different countries as well. Because you know a lot of things that happen in America affects in different countries. It affects other countries. And he has a lot to say too about all the different things that are happening up there in Israel and wherever else. So he's coming and he is overturning a lot of laws and making his new laws that seem favorable in the eyes of people. But this is the way how these people operate. There's something called sleight of hand. While I'm doing something with this hand, the other hand is hidden and doing something else. Because I want you to focus on the hand that I want you to see and not the hand that I don't want you to see. Because while he is rolling out all these different sweet things to overturn the robot looking guy did before, what he did, and that Harris woman, if it is a woman, can't tell with these people these days, huh? What he is doing that people are not focusing on and they're not paying attention to is he's strengthening artificial intelligence. He is establishing artificial intelligence. If you doubt me, go and Google Stargate, Project Stargate. That's the reason why he's been meeting with the Musk man. Tell me what the Musk man knows about politics. All he knows about is making cars and fake rockets, fake satellites, because nothing can go above the dome. Everything is under the dome. So there ain't no satellites in the air. All those stars and things that you see, all those strangeness is either blue beam project or fallen angels manifesting themselves. And they have to do so now because they're rolling out another agenda. He I met with Hell's Gate guy. Why is he meeting with the Hell's Gate guy? He's not even been in office for a month. And he's already meeting with these so-called top technology gurus. All right? The poster children, actually, because they're not gurus. They're nothing. They're just poster children. The Nephilim spirits and the fallen angels are behind the technology. All right? So now he's rolling out this thing called Project Stargate, which has to do, let me read a little bit of it for you. All right, I'm going to read it. So he just announced, Mr. President Trump just announced Project Stargate. And let's read the key points. He announced recently that Project Stargate, singular, which he called the largest AI infrastructure project in history. What does that sound like to you? What he is doing is that he is setting the groundwork for the Beast Empire number 7 to soon rise up, because the Beast Empire number 7 is going to be a technology-based empire. Let's read on. SoftBank, Oracle, and OpenAI will join forces to advance this build-out of AI infrastructure in US. And don't think it's only going to be limited to the US. This is going to be all over the world. But the AI is breaking ground. But trust me, these things are being secretly worked on in every country in this world. Even in the islands. Because right now, they're telling people they have to go and get their digital this and digital that. All right. I'm going to talk more about SoftBank and all the other ones. 3 familiar names could be among the biggest beneficiaries of this initiative. So let me read on. This planned 500 billion AI infrastructure investment could meet a few big winners. Let me read here. Let me find something interesting to read. We're not going to look at productivity and profits and all that. Okay. Earlier this week, President Donald Trump announced an initiative dubbed Project Stargate, which he said will be the largest AI infrastructure project in history. The private joint venture will initially be funded by SoftBank. SoftBank is a Japanese owned or partially owned company along with others. All right. OpenAI is Microsoft, and you know who Microsoft is owned by. I think it's 49% Microsoft and 49% of some other people and 1% of somebody else, something to that degree. But Microsoft, we know, is Hell's Gate. All right, Billy Hell's Gate. All right. Oracle is an American computer, is American owned by a guy named Larry something. It's a multinational computer technology company, and it's the third largest software company, something to that effect. And then you have AI Focused Investment Fund, MGX, which is UAE. We're talking about Abu Dhabi. All right. And they're the money, they're part, um, the investment, the investors rather, behind this project, or partially, partial investors, because all these other people, the SoftBank, OpenAI, and Oracle, they're all also investors. But look at how diverse these investors are. So, and intends these AI Focus Investment Fund (MGX) and intends to invest 500 billion over the next 4 years building AI infrastructure, according to the press release. The initiative plans to build as many as 20 immense data centers across the country designed to meet the processing power needs of AI systems. All right, let me pause there because let me say something else that you may not be aware of. All right? And this is something that I discovered over the last few years. Can't remember if I've ever mentioned it, but I'll mention it now. There's what they want to do with people, and they've already kind of started doing some sick stuff. All right? Because they need to power AI. And the kind of energy that AI would need cannot be supplied by the normal means which we use, like for example, electricity. All right. And they have discovered other ways in which to power efficiently their artificial intelligence, whatever it is that they want to supply energy to. And one of the things that they're going to use, and they're already working on, is using a brain to help power their AI. I'm talking about just a brain. They take the cells and they create a brain, a human brain to power AI. But that's not the only source of their energy that they're going to hijack from people. They're going to hijack it from people. And those who have taken the jibby jibby, I'm talking about the toxin that have been changed, will become a source, almost like a walking, talking battery, an electrical source, a source of free energy for their AI. All right? This is the reason why they force people to take it, because they're trying to sort it all out now so that when they actually roll things out, it's done. They already know exactly where everything needs to be. They're putting all their ducks in a row. That's why when people had taken the toxin and other people had that app, trying to see what it is. They had an app called oh my goodness, what is it? QR. Like it's almost like a QR code. All right? It was almost like a QR code. And they can walk any place and they can pick up signals coming from people to their phone. And and the source of these signals were people that were in the close vicinity, and they were always like numbers. And they actually showed on the videos as they're walking by and people are passing them, how a number would just pop up on the screen. Same thing with a man who claimed that, and he showed it too in the video, how his television, his car, Anything that had a computer was trying to sync with him. Why? Because now he became a signal. He was he was emitting a signal. And this is something that we knew from way back, like 2021, 2022, that they were going to use people as a means of energy. Okay? To energize their AI. It's a source of energy for their AI. Doesn't matter where you are, because, like they said, these machines that they're going to set up, they're going to be all over the world. Not only in America, they're going to set up this Stargate business in every country, because every country will have people that have been jibby jibbied. And if you have been jibby jibby and you manage to live on, then you become the source of energy for their technology. They don't need electricity anymore. Okay, you use electricity for your appliances and whatnot, but the real and pure source of energy will be coming from people for their AI, their technology. Imagine people are supplying the source of energy to be controlled by the same things that they are powering up. Ain't that something? So that's why I'm telling you. Do not let this man fool you into thinking that he is doing great and marvelous things, because he's not. He has a tongue like a serpent, and he speaks what people want to hear. He's going to this place to see the disasters, the people that have been living in tents and what have you, because the previous administration ignored them. And now all of a sudden he's all sympathy. Well, he doesn't need to go and visit these people. He can just go and send the right people with the supplies to help these people. Why does he have to go? Because he wants to be seen and he wants to be heard. And he wants to appear as if he is sympathetic. It's all a game. It's all a play. Do not be deceived. This man, when he's ready to roll out his demonic programs, heads are going to turn. Heads are going to turn. Okay? You might think that he's a fool. He's foolish. He acts like a fool. But trust me, he's the most dangerous of all of them. The most dangerous. And I kid you not. All right? So take heed. Don't let this man deceive you. And certainly don't let the people around you singing his praises deceive you either. He is no better than the worst that we've seen sitting in that position that he is sitting in. He's no better. The only person that is the best is Yahushua HaMashiach. And he is the one that we need to keep our eyes on, because there is no righteous man on this earth that can step into power to govern a country anymore. Those days are done. The only people governing a country or an island or a state or a province are all part of, they're all agents of the Satans. They're not one of them that is righteous. Not one of them. You see the one in Canada stepping down? Wait and see the next one that's stepping up. You think that That one that just stepped down is bad. Trust me, the one that's stepping in is going to be worse. He might start off a little gentle, but he's going to get rough fast. All right. All right. So that's the ending of this. Once again, let me just say, please, 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 if you have anything to share, please feel free to share. I'm open to hearing how your experience was, whether good or bad. Even if you had to break it, it doesn't matter. The fact that you are wanting to start to fast and pray is a good thing. You start out, maybe you could only handle 6 hours, that's fine. Next time, go 7 hours. Okay? The whole idea is that you've done it. You started and you want to do it. Just pray that the Father give you strength to continue on for 24 hours. Okay? So that's it for now. I will maybe come back and do another exhortation to share something else. I'm not sure. We'll see. Because I make plans and then the Father comes and he changes. Okay. So with that, I will say, Shalawam, Shalawam. All praises to the Most High. Abba, yeah.